Sometimes when we are installing the suspension rail on which the cabinets will be hanging, we can find ourselves in a situation where the wall is longer than the 84 inches. That is the length of the rail. And if it's really a lot longer than 84 inches, it's not a problem, because then we just use more than one rail. But if it's like 85 or 89 or 92, meaning just tiny bit longer than the rail itself, what do we do? Because we cannot really add a piece of 2 or 3 inches, can we? In this video, I will show you how I'm doing it. Let me start by answering the question I asked before, if we can add just a tiny bit of rail to the end of the 84 inches. And the answer is no, we cannot, because as you may know, is that a cabinet will be hanging at the very end of the rail in any case. And if we just add 2 or 3 inches, and those 2 or 3 inches are not really securely fastened into a stud, the cabinet will not be sitting well on the wall. So that we don't do. So what do we do instead? A short answer to that question is that we cut the rail in 2 pieces. And we can do that because as long as we make sure that the rail is securely fastened into a stud where we will have a cabinet hanging, the bracket on a cabinet, it's not a problem that the rail is not in one piece. And let me show you how I'm doing this. I follow 2 simple rules when I do that. And here they are. Rule number 1. Every part of the rail must be screwed into minimum 2 studs. And rule number 2. The first point of contact from any end of the rail must be a stud and not a bracket. Let me explain that to you in details. And the best way of explaining this to you is by showing an example. The first thing we do is we mark on the wall where the cabinets will go. In this case, we will start from the right with a 36-inch fridge cabinet. Then we will have a 24-inch cabinet and another 24-inch cabinet. I have marked that on the wall with the 2 long vertical pieces of masking tape. When I have put those on, I mark where I have the studs. And that is the small pieces you can see right there. Now, if we look at our wall and the pieces of tape on the wall where we have marked the studs and we have marked where the brackets for the cabinets will be sitting, and we apply that to the 2 rules I mentioned before, that every part of the rail must be screwed into minimum 2 studs, and the first point of contact on a rail must be a stud, not a bracket. With that knowledge in mind, we know now that there's only 2 places on this wall where we can actually cut the rail if we want to apply the rules that I just mentioned before. And that's the 2 sections that's shown here, because if we cut the rail in any of those 2 sections, the first contact point from any end of the rail will be a stud, and both pieces will be secured into minimum 2 studs, right? And here it is. I decided to cut the rail right there as you see it, and move both pieces to the side of the wall. And that means right there in the middle where there's no rail, there will be no bracket. And the cut I made applies to both rules, because the first contact point from the end of any rail, any end, will be a stud. And both pieces of rails are sitting in minimum 2 studs. I know that this at first can be a bit tricky, but if you don't see the point of those 2 rules right away, I suggest that you go back and watch the video another time. It is not difficult at all. You just need to know that everywhere a cabinet has a bracket hanging on the rail, it has to be securely fastened into a stud on both sides of that point. So check it out and go cut some rails in order to make your kitchen installation perfect. Thank you for watching.